Before we leave 2024 season in its entirety behind us, we have a draft class coming up. And I have to ask you, is the 2024 NBA draft class the worst that you can think of in recent memory?
It's hard to go too early on that, to be honest, because there's so many diamonds in the rough and so many things that we just don't know, like what translates. And I was saying this to someone today. It's like a lot of these picks might be, if you're an organization, you see someone say, "Hey, if we just grab him with like the seventh pick, maybe not this year, maybe not next year, but the year after, if we can free up some space, put these right pieces around, he's had 2 years in the league, he can lead this team."
Yeah.
Like they seem a lot of like future prospects. I don't think we've got many, if any, to be honest, that are going to come in and I don't think there's any keys to the organization pieces in this draft.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's fine. You can't have, to be honest, you can't have keys to the organization in every single draft.
Yeah.
Because there's only so many people that can lead each team. This seems like a really complimentary draft, which again, it might end up falling one way, looking at it one way, but I refuse to really look at that until I'll give it 3 seasons and see what comes out.
I saw something online actually, which was someone had commented and said, this is the type of draft class where GMs and scouts get fired because those top 5 picks are so hard to get right. And it's going to be all of those mid-lottery picks where someone's going to scoop up someone big. And then in hindsight, like you said, in 3 years' time, they're going to look back and say, how on earth did you pass up on this guy in favor of
but I
the
think
top 5?
because it's so even and what the bar is at, I think that it might be all right for the sake of like everyone's thinking the same thing. Like, okay, we might get a couple of pieces here, but like to be honest, you look at the whole draft class. Is adding any of these pieces to a team over the next year or two going to put them in contention? No.
Yeah.
No. So it's like that's just kind of what it is. It's adding a complementary piece that you think is going to be ready potentially in as a project in 2-3 years.
Yeah. Do you look at this? Is there anyone on the board for you right now that you look at and think that's someone needs to take a swing on early?
Early's hard. I'm obviously going to be a lot biased, but like Johnny Furphy, the Australian kid, it's just great to see how he's jumped up.
Yeah, he has.
Into the prospect. Obviously, Alex Sarr, the kid who played the next start for the Wildcats. He's actually one I know people were talking about, like the number 1 or number 2 pick. But when you're the Atlanta Hawks with the number 1 pick, you can't be picking anybody who's going to be a ball dominant scorer or anything. You've already got 2 of those, and
yeah,
you need someone who can impact differently, which is going to be a guy who can run the floor and dribble at 7'1".
Yeah, it's crazy. I saw a report recently saying that they were basically, especially Quinn Snyder, was set on Donovan Clingan. And it's like, right. I don't know how you can take, like, it was literally 2 years ago you took Okongwu with the 6th pick. So, like, are you basically saying that he's now relegated to being a rotational piece because you're going to go 1 for Clingan? And then you've got Capella, who I guess is the exact same player but a matured version.
Yeah.
In terms of what he brings to the table. And it's already established that it's probably the least valuable position in the modern NBA, and you want to go at 1. Like, I think that's just a recipe for disaster, personally. I thought Sarr was just an automatic pick for Atlanta because he just feels what they need.
Yeah, and again, there's going to be hardly any trades, right? Because everyone's thinking, like, we don't really need this. It's kind of like just pick who's there. Again, I'll have to reserve the judgment until a couple of years' time, but it's pretty. And to be perfectly honest, any draft after Wemby, immediately after Wemby, is going to be shit. Like what?
Yeah.
You're always recency bias is like I'm thinking, what happened last year? Okay, one of the craziest athletes we've ever seen went number 1. Okay, so what have we got this year? Well, no one's going to come close to Wemby in a year's time. So it's very unfortunate, not just for this draft class, for the next one, until that kind of blows over.
Yeah,
I don't know what the second coming of Wemby is.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if we're even going to see it in our lifetime, to be honest.
I'm looking up. Who was the number 1 pick after LeBron? Dwight.
Oh, okay, that's pretty good.
But again, so that draft was Dwight at 1, Okafor at 2, Ben Gordon 3, Sean Livingston, Devin Harris.
Yeah,
Like we're talking role players after that.
exactly.
And even still, like, you've got Iggy at the 9th pick, Bintrins, Luke Jackson, Robert Swift, Sebastian Telfair, Chris Humphreys. Okay,
Wow.
we're going to reserve judgment on court.
Yeah, that's a fair shout. All right, let's leave 2024.
What are you prepared to lose today? Set a deposit limit. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.